too many Palutena players. So, in that sense, he should have the advantage. But Palutena is also a matchup that I believe people have practiced against for the entirety of Ultimate, being one of the early demons in bracket 2. So I don't think Rox does not have enough experience. But still, if you're looking for a local Palutena, I don't know who I would lead you to. Also, Chag played against a pretty good Sheik player as well, like Evil M, one of the best players in Durango, Mexico. I don't know if he's the best, but still, definitely top 3 from that region. Not too far from Monterrey either, so he does get to travel a bit. Now, Rox here, what's his game plan? He is a setup kind of player. And Sheik kind of requires a lot of setups too to make things work. A lot of bouncing fish setups, for instance. So I think that's what we're going to see. Rox going for a lot of bouncing fish finishers.
100%. That is just that staple of Sheik's gameplay. You have a character that struggles to kill. You give them a kill option, you are going to be looking for that kill option. And we're seeing it right there. Some bouncing fish coming out. That landing nair or a landing needles, those are your basic leads into that incredible finisher of bouncing fish. But that second one not coming out, but an up smash coming out to punish a get-up attack. And Rox takes the first stock.
Putting himself in the lead, and I'm sure that the venue is rooting for their boy as well. Now remember, this is in the winner's side of things too, so they still have an extra life, if you will, for the lower bracket, but neither one wants to fall to that point. And here you go. Rox is very good at, he's very slippery. If you will. Sheik is already a character that moves quite fast, but he is going to try to force Chag into these trap situations and maybe even throw a projectile of his own to then slip by and start a new combo. And so far, so good. He is kind of catching Chag on his attempts to land. And look at that, he reads it too! Chag going for his classic edge-canceled back air, and it gets parried. I think that's a pretty big indicator of how well Rox knows him.
That second time, though, Rox did try to go past the ledge and punish Chag. Chag was ready for it with a back air, and then the down tilt, finishing it off and putting the stocks at even. And the percents are going to be looking a little more even once you get that nair strings that Palutenas love to go for. And Rox trying to go for a up smash and air dodging past the ledge and accidentally SDs, and that's going to put Chag up here in this game 1.
Hoping this won't take such a big toll mentally if you're Rox, but still, it's definitely a heartbreaker because that was almost a full stock lead. Like, he definitely had a lot to give on that one, but it is what it is. You gotta put yourself together again, and unfortunately, I don't think that's happening. The mental is definitely hurt for the remainder of this match at least, and Chag is taking the mile. You gave him, you gave him 2 miles actually, and he's going to take them all the way. Well, Rox does make it back this time, but that's twice in a row that it's happened.
Rox is having some difficulty here with those air dodges off stage, and hopefully he can get something together. A down tilt up air is going to be putting a little bit of fire in his boots, but a grab off of ledge, though, that it could be a big opening with 26% on the side of Sheik, up tilt backer, and now Chag is the one in a corner situation, but lands with a nair and is able to make it out. Good parry from Rox, though. Not going to get anything big off of it, but that is a good indicator of how his spirits are.
Oh, and Rox catching the landings from Chag once again. Like, this is probably where people have been capitalizing the most across both sets. It's always about the landing and being in the right position at the right time. Rox can also get some very solid strings started right from up tilt as they land. So Chag here is going to start playing a much more careful game when landing, throwing a lot of backers, forcing Rox to stay out of harm's way. And here's Rox once again, trying to catch him on the slow approaches, but unfortunately the second down tilt is punished, and it seems like Chag might have the winning formula here with the Explosive Flame, but no, not quite gonna hit him. Man, you gotta be so nervous if you're Rox. You already dropped a stock, you can still close this out, but no! He just dash and eats a shield to the face.
Unfortunate situation. Earlier, before we saw them on that left side of the stage, Rox was once again trying to aggressively make it back to stage. We've been seeing that a lot from Rox, landing with he's off stage and he lands with a forward air off of that ledge. He lands with these needles, lands with the back air. It has been a very aggressive approach to disadvantage from Rox, and it has been working incredibly well. There was just that unfortunate SD at that second stock. We'll see if Chag is able to start punishing that, or if that aggressive gameplay will still lead more towards Rox's favor.
I mean, that's the thing. I think that Chag definitely walked in with the aggressive mindset because he knows that if he catches Rox slipping, he can also build up to some fantastic punishes. For as slippery as Sheik is, it's still going to be a complicated effort to bring all that percent back. I mean, that's where your advantage is. The more you can extend your combo, the harder it is to see Sheik make it back and close out that gap. Oof, the wind box is giving Rox a bit of an extra mile to get back on stage faster. Still though, it's a deficit in percentage. He needs to win neutral a couple more times. Now we're back to even. I mean, these two guys have faced each other a lot across 2 games, by the way, like both in Smash 4 and Ultimate. This is a classic matchup.
And a classic edge guard for Sheik. That grenade off stage catching the teleport recovery, and once again MH Rox going up in game 2. Just seeing this guy. We're just seeing this gameplay from Rox. He is utilizing all of his aerials, all of his tilts to apply this pressure to Chag, and just that really has been Rox's MO this entire set is pressure. Pressure, constantly approaching, constantly just throwing out these hitboxes, and not going to work out that time. The approach being stuffed out by an explosive flame, but still, you are up an entire 76%, 81, and it is climbing as Rox is still playing that aggressive game plan that is doing so well.
Generally, Rox has been trying to stay at the mid-range, like between Palutena and the explosive flame maximum range, let's say that. Whenever he is at that maximum range for the explosive flame, he starts shielding a lot. So Chag has kind of realized this too. He's forcing Rox into shield out of the fear of the explosive flame, and that's when he can dash in and get a new punish started. Unfortunately though, it does not always go his way on the approach. Rox might have a hitbox ready to clash with him, and then he starts, oh no, a brand new offensive. Goodness, that was going to be tragic if he was hit by that down smash, but he does make it back. And Chag is now at the deficit in percentage, and it seems like he will be for quite a bit as Rox has the edge guard! Oh, good check though.
Great tech from Chag, going to avoid losing that stock, and a great tomahawk from Chag, getting that back throw, and now Rox once again in the corner has to make it out. Tries to go for an up smash read and gets dash attack for your troubles, and yeah, now Chag just waiting out that invincibility timer is now at that 0% you are looking for a neutral air. It is Palutena. You want a nair string, you want something to get started with, like a forward air or anything of the sort, and Rox just really needs to find this kill, and there it is, a bouncing fish in neutral, calling out Chag's approach option. But as I said, one nair is all you need, and you are going to the other side of the stage. 42% on Rox, but a forward air off of the ledge, not going to lead into too much, but hopefully can lead into a little more. We're seeing these forward airs coming out and out from Rox, getting the F tilt, just not leading into the up tilt, and Chag trying to get an F smash of his own.
Yep, saw that animation start out. He was trying to force Rox back all the way into the ledge. Not quite gonna happen. And now he needs to fight for stage control once again. They're both exactly the same percentage once more. Talk about an even matchup. But unfortunately for Rox, I do still think that being on even percentage does not mean a true advantage for Sheik, given how light she is and how somewhat easy Palutena can find the kill with something like an explosive flame. And again, Rox trying his best not to play at that long range. He tries to stay in the mid so that he can go in, dash, start a new combo string, but it seems like Chag won't let him. Chag is a lot more eager to go for jabs, for instance, and open up new possibilities. And look at that! Look at the way that he's hunting for him in the air! Not quite hitting any of his kill options just yet, but an up air should do if Rox were to approach in the air, and neither jab is leading to anything now.
neutral air out of shield coming out from Rocks is going to punish Chags, and now a down tilt is going to send Rocks off stage once again. Can he get off of this ledge? Gets a aggressive down tilt, sending him off, and now you are above Palutena right now. That was very scary, but teleporting to the ledge is Chag. I fully thought he SD'd right there, but there's no SD coming out as MH Rocks takes game 2 with a down tilt up air.
And that's what I love about Rocks. He is able to find the scoop. No matter how many times he went for that and lost, eventually he did recognize the situation to go for it again and finish with that solid up air. And if you think about it, both of them had a chance to go and finish things off with an up air. Now there's one more thing that I'd like to mention. Chag has been playing Min a lot, but I think that in this matchup in particular, we would probably never see Min if see fit. I mean, Chag has a pretty solid one in that, but Min would just be combo food. It would be so hard for her to get out of these kinds of strengths, and it would be much better to go boxing with Palutena. And still, Chag is struggling a little bit to find a way to get Rocks out of him whenever Rocks does start his strings. It's pretty much impossible to fall out of him. But look at this. The percent keeps racking up, and Chag is already putting Rocks at kill percent.
This start of game 3, Chag putting on the pressure himself as he racks up 110%, and Rocks trying to answer back with a bit of a bouncing fish. Not going to do much though, and now you are once again in disadvantage against Rocks. I feel like Rocks' advantage state has been very, very just solid. It hasn't been too dominant, but Rocks has just been constantly and consistently picking the right options as Chag has been trying to get off of ledge or trying to recover.
Fortunately, though, the downer option was not the precise one in that occasion, and also Chag has recognized when Rocks is going for those downers, so the upper will be a perfect shield to not just get the kill, but also protect Palutena. And here, well, we actually might see Chag struggling to get back on the ledge. I don't think he's going to grab it. Oh no, Rocks mistimed that back air, and he does let Chag back onto it, but you know, no harm, no foul. Rocks is still at 0%. He does have a deficit of his stock and can't seem to find the kill option. I don't know, Zamo. As time goes on, he is going to get a little bit more desperate for that kill, and he might end up going for some very risky options like another op air. Oh, this time, though, he finds the scoop.
That is really the low point of playing as Sheik in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. That is their kill power. Sheik can struggle to find that kill if you aren't at that perfect percent that will be from a landing air or a neutral B into that bouncing fish. So once you get upwards of 120, 130, it's really going to be hard for Sheik to find those kills, but it's not going to be hard for Sheik to find those combos. We're getting a jab lock on that platform, and a good get-up attack from Chag is going to swat Rocks away. However, he will not be deterred as this advantage is still being pressed. And a forward air from Chag is going to keep him out. Ooh, the landing there, scary. Oof.
Definitely is. It could also rack up, oh, a lot more percent. Careful here! Yes, I was thinking that Rocks was going to go for a low bouncing fish. Whiffs just slightly, but it could have been it if Chag were a little bit closer to him. Still though, I don't see Chag going for as much back air, for instance. He would much rather go for that englobing hitbox of the neutral air and try to force a new exchange against Rocks while approaching. And yeah, a lot of neutral air so far from Chag, and once again going for those jabs, but Rocks has adapted to it. Rocks is not going for quite as many down tilt scoops as before. He's waiting for Chag to land once again, and that's where he found success in game 1. And so far, seems like he's adapting greatly to that game plan once again. Chag is suffering. He cannot really seem to go in. Most of that percentage has been from trades.
That is where Sheik struggles, is with those trades, because your moves do so little percent. However, even on top of those trades, Rocks has been winning neutral with a consistency that is frankly terrifying, as Rocks just is continuing to find his combo openers and find his starters as in these neutral situations, and Chag is constantly on the back foot and trying to catch up to this slippery fish that is Rocks, and he finally does with a dash tag, bringing us to even stocks in this game 3.
Oh no. Careful though. Rox has been going off stage a few too many times. We remember what happened in game 1. I don't want to see another installment of that series. Thank you very much. Chag though, struggling to find center stage again, or rather, Rox is very comfortable giving that up sometimes. So whenever Chag does take the bait and go into center, Rox has something ready for him, be it needles, for instance, maybe a dash attack of his own, and Chag eats a lot of percent from it. And there you go, another up tilt. Can't seem to land the second fair though. Ooh, that one's gonna hurt as you lose stage control and you take some punishment. And again, the percent racks up so fast on Sheik compared to what she can deal.
Yeah, however fast Palutena racks up the percent efficiently, does Sheik do the same, as Sheik's combos are just they are so high maintenance, but they are so worth it. And that F smash did not seem to be worth it, as Rox is going to be getting a punish. Not too big of a punish though, as he is back in the corner and a neutral air sending him off stage once again, landing aggressively with a forward air, trying to get something off of it. A nair putting Chag off stage now. F smash just barely not connecting fully. Unfortunate situation for Rox.
And at this percent, oh, pretty much any backer would do, but that's just going to take cojones to go in and do an up smash like that. The absolute call out of how Chag was jumping so much, looking and fishing for those back airs. Eventually, you're going to get punished from it, but still very quick pattern recognition from Rox and knowing when to go in safely and landing that up smash, but still good stuff. Rox, this is what makes him the best Sheik, I would almost say, in the continent, honestly, but he just needs to travel. He just needs to get out of Mexico for once. Please, Rox, get your visa.
From this gameplay that I'm seeing, Rox is absolutely incredible, and being from the States myself, I am not too familiar with this game, but I am becoming a fan by the second. This is some incredible gameplay, as just his advantage state is constant pressure, it is constant aggression, and Chag is constantly on the back foot, as Rox just keeps throwing out these moves and finding his opening. Maybe missing a few here and there, but with the volume at which he finds his openings, it really does not matter.
And you know, this next opening here is just a multi-jab. I mean, Rox has recognized when Chag is going to stand in place even, and going for that multi-jab is going to give you a ton of mileage as well. Now, unfortunately here, the spacing is a little too good for, for Rox to land the next down tilt. But look at that! The call-out! The forward smash is not quite going to finish it. But this backer sure will! It's all about the edge guard now, and Chag, unfortunately, seems to be struggling a lot on the ledge scheme from Rox, and look at this, look at how far he's going to push it, 47 just like that, and an extra opening from that failed counter by Palutena, 60 on Chag, and a stock deficit.
60% off of a disadvantageous situation. Rox was at ledge. It hits Chag with the grenade on Chag's shield, and Rox then gets an entire string off of that. Just absolutely incredible recognition, incredible game sense coming out from Rox, and an F smash coming out again, just barely being avoided by Chag, but Rox is definitely playing out of his mind right now.
Getting the reads so often, Chag does not know where Rox is going to be. 2 dash attacks in a row, neither one landing, and now you also lost stage control. Back to the ledge you go, and Rox is ready to pull off a solid edge guard, takes him to the other side of the stage. Chag has nowhere to run. Eventually, the get-up attack gets him out of there, but still, Rox has gotten so many punishes and so many long strings out of a single hit, and Chag here can only depend, on either a shield attack or the up air, but it's going to be the dash attack to take away Rox's first stock. But look at that percent. Chag getting called out once again. This up air will do it, and Rox is 1 stock away from getting into top 8.
This is the run for MH Rox right now, as he is up an entire stock against one of the best players in the world, one of the best Palutena players in the world, as Sheik, a lesser played character, definitely an incredibly strong character, as MH Rox is showcasing right now. Just this advantage state. I say it once, I've said it 3 times, and I will say it a 4th. this advantage state is immaculate as he is constantly putting on that pressure. Back air, putting Chag off stage once again. A down tilt into the F smash is not going to kill just yet, but the bouncing stick will! As MH rocks 3-1's Chag.
What on earth? I don't know if you saw, but the stream lagged just a little bit when he got that confirmed. Rox hitting us confirmed so raw that the stream lagged for a second. Goodness gracious, what he just did. Scooping Chag, first and foremost, with that down tilt as he was approaching the edge, taking him out of there, and then the bouncing fish. Talk about an absolute call-out. The adaptation throughout the entire set